It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO-FM in Jessup for the 16th day of June, and it's brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, by Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank.
Hi, Wayne and surrounding counties. This is Sean O'Quinn with O'Quinn & Associates. The one constant in life is change. Throughout our lives, we will go down roads that we never imagined. I have decided that it is time for me to make a change. I have decided to start my own independent insurance agency. What does this mean for you? Better rates and multiple companies. Give us a call at our new number, 912-385-1000, or stop by and see us. We are still at 212 South 1st Street, and we look forward to serving you.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings in Wayne County is a popular thing. To dine in or take out for one delicious meal, and with the low great prices, it's simply a steal. Famous for the variety of sauces, mild, wild, insane, or inferno. When it's time to eat lunch or dinner, Damon's Restaurant the place to go. Located in the middle of town on West Cherry Street, yes, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings simply can't be beat. So next time you're hungry and looking for a great meal, head to Damon's Restaurant and enjoy a great deal. The number to call is easy, 588-WING, 588-9464, the real thing. Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings. Those chicken wings are a very popular thing.
Hi, I'm Raymond Brown.
And I'm Mandy Yeomans. At First Southern Bank, our customers are like family. As a locally owned community bank, we're dedicated to helping our clients succeed.
We have loans for every need, whether it's personal or business. We have lines of credit, auto loans, equipment loans, and of course, we offer mortgages. Stop by our bank or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio. And Bob, in just a moment, Congressman Betty Carter is going to be calling in and be on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. But right now, we got just good news for the All-Star teams and Recreation All-Star action from the boys and girls teams.
Been a successful summer so far. I mean, got to be excited. 7 teams headed to state with a chance to win a state championship, so that's good news. But very talented teams. 4 won the district, several finished runner-ups. Still hate that the 10U girls aren't going to state. That's the one league that they didn't take with 2 teams.
I know. Why didn't they take? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Maybe
still a mystery to everybody. I said, Speck
don't know.
He said,
wow.
Nobody has the answer. So that's just
somebody's got to have the answer.
Maybe Steve Carr's got the answer. Maybe
I'm sure he does.
Get a hold of him. So just seems weird that they take 2 teams from every league except the 10U girls. So tough way to go out, but like I said, they lost by 1 run, 24-23. So
okay, but 7 teams going to state next week.
7 teams going to state.
And what are we going to be hosting here in Wayne County?
The 17-year girls state event.
Okay, and we have a team in that, right? Yep. Okay, 17U girls, which is basically the high school girls, aren't they?
Well, most of them are on the high school team. Right?
Yeah, not all of them, pretty much. A lot of them are on the high school team. So we wish all those teams the best next week as they go into state playoff action. 7 teams from the Wayne County Recreation Department going into state action next week. Some of them district champions. We had 4 of them, and the other ones are runners-up, second place. So congratulations to all of them. And the Braves now have won 14 in a row. If they win one more, Bob, they'll have tied the record for the Braves in the number of victories in a row. And that wasn't back in the 90s. You thought it would have been back, when it was back a few years ago. And so they'll be taking on the Cubs, another team that they'll have a good chance to be able to sweep the series. And then they'll be at home, and things get a little bit tougher next week at home against San Francisco for 4 days. at the Truist Park in Atlanta beginning on Monday, and then the Dodgers coming in town next weekend for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So let's get all these victories that we can, and maybe they can go, maybe they got 14, maybe they can get 15, 16, 17. They can sweep the Chicago Cubbies up there in Chicago. And it's interesting, down here we're dying of heat. You can't imagine going to a game at 2:20 in the afternoon, but that's what time the games are going to be there at Chicago for the next 3 days, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Each day, first pitch is at 2:20, and I've been up there in that area in June, and at night you still have to put on a light jacket or a light sweater because you're right there up there at the Great Lakes, and it's still a little cool up there.
It's the windy city.
The windy
It's got a nice windy breeze in there.
It'll warm up in July and August up there. And then they do have some high temperatures right now, but at night it still cools down a little bit. That Great Lakes, help keeps the temperatures a little more moderated up there. And so we wish the Braves the best. And, of course, you can hear those games right here on 105.5 FM. The Friday and Saturday game, the Saturday and Sunday game that begins at 2:20 will be right here on 105.5 FM. Tomorrow's game against the Cubbies, since it's a weekday midday game, that'll be on our sister station, WLOP 1370 AM, The Buzz, Fox Sports Radio. Well, Bob, a big golf tournament going on this weekend?
U.S. Open.
Starts today.
Starts today up there in Boston, Massachusetts. So, of course, it's called the Country Club. It's got a lot of short par fours. So should be fun to watch. Looking forward to it.
Okay. And they got some of those players who are over in the other league now going to compete in this.
Right.
Okay. I mean, you're just raising all kinds of, cane about this, controversy and stuff like that. But is it all right for a player to play in two different, leagues in a sense? Two different organizations, PGA and someone else. I mean, it's not like they're employed by them. They're independent contractors, It's not like, somebody that's, playing for Major League Baseball or football or basketball or hockey or something like that. These are independent contractors. They're not, they only get paid for what they earn out there on the golf course. So why is it not okay to be able to play wherever you want to play?
I'm sure it's going to go to court eventually, but like I said, they're all just making money. I don't fault any of them.
I don't fault any of them either. Yeah. Especially
show me the money.
Especially Phil, he's 52. He's in they say there's a lot of folks. Well, I can understand, when they get in the upper 40s and 50s, that you want to get the money. You've got your legacy set there for playing, but I don't understand these young players doing it. And I'm thinking it's the money. That's the reason why they're out there playing golf. Of course, they enjoy the sport, but they're out there to win as much money as they possibly can. And when you get guaranteed money...
The problem is they need to just be honest and say, we're there for the money.
We're there for the money.
Quit talking about they're trying to grow the game of golf and all that.
I know.
One of the golfers busted him out and said, look, I don't want to hear that. That's a bunch of garbage.
Now, would. If you were interviewing them, you would do it, Bob. You'd say, come on, just tell me it's about the money, right?
That's all it is. Look, I don't blame you. $200 million, I'm there tomorrow.
Yeah.
How do you turn that down?
How do you turn that down?
But this, they take talking about, they're not there for politics. They're not there to build country relations. They're there to play golf and make money.
Right, right.
But like somebody said, watching it was not fun. I mean, there's hardly, besides the guys, the other guys aren't very good. I mean, somebody tried to watch it. They said that they watched it for like 10 minutes and couldn't watch it. It just wasn't any fun. It was just boring as all get out. So.
Yeah, will it continue on? Well, is Saudi Arabia committed to this for many years? It'll be interesting to see.
What's going to be fun today is see what the crowd reaction is, or if there's going to be any backlash from the, like I was talking to a friend last night. I said, Phil Mickelson, they're not going to boo Phil Mickelson because Phil Mickelson's loved by most golf fans. Now, Patrick Reed, who nobody likes, they'll probably be crushing him today. So
they shouldn't.
That's what's going to be fun to watch today is to see what the reaction is from the crowd, see how it all is going. But it should be a fun golf course, a fun golf tournament. It's a major U.S. Open, always fun to watch. So.
And this is the one major that Phil has not won is the U.S. Open. So. We wish them the best up there playing. At least they're way up there in the Boston area where it's a little bit cooler up there because the temperatures down here are terrible.
He's finished second 6 times in the U.S. Open.
Wow. Man.
Has not won it, but has got 6 second-place finishes. But they say that's another reason why people love him because he always goes goes for it. He doesn't play conservative. He's going for the win.
He's going for the win. Now, I guess next month in July is when they'll have the Open over there. Do they still play it in Scotland?
Yeah. Tiger says he's going to play in that. So.
Okay, so the Brits and those folks over there get upset when you call it the British Open. They don't call it; they call it the Open. Yeah. It is the Open, and it's over there in Britain.
The British Open. That's what everybody refers it to. So.
They say don't refer to it as that. It's the Open in Britain, and usually held up there in those golf courses that look like it was bombed out, during World War II, and all they did was just fill in the holes with sand, and because it's just one wide open field.
It's always fun to watch those bunker shots because they're way down in a bunker.
They're down there. It's like, is he down there? I see him. Yeah, and it's interesting, it's July, and many of them are wearing sweaters because it's cool up there in Scotland. It's usually where they play it, right, up there in Scotland, that's the north part of the British Isle. There is up in Scotland. It's usually, I think, where they play it. Where they say they invented golf many moons ago, back in the 1800s. I was listening to a comedian one time, and he was talking about golf, originated in Scotland. And can you imagine the guys outside coming up with the idea for golf? Yeah, and what kind of funny ideas that went through their head about of inventing the game of golf, of trying to hit this little ball into this hole, several hundred yards down, it was just the way the comedian did it. It was absolutely hilarious about how the idea of what his interpretation of the idea of how golf was invented there in Scotland. Very funny. Can't remember which comedian it was. And so you went. You had that interview this morning. From the school board, from the basically from the financial officer there. It is interesting for him to say that. It's about the difficulty they're having of keeping teachers in certain places. And when you have that really good teacher in there that's got the master's degree, you pay him a certain amount. When you got to bring in somebody that that's just basically in their temporary, you pay them a lot less. So it's kind of hard to set what that budget's going to be, but they set it on the high side, right? Just in case every position is filled with a top-notch, experienced master's degree teacher, right?
That's what he said.
Yeah. So I can see how that budget could fluctuate like that, because when you're dealing with millions and millions and millions of dollars, it's quite a process to deal with all that when you're the financial guy or gal that has to take care of that and budget and so forth. And now coming up next week is early voting still going on for the District 1 Commission?
Early voting is today and tomorrow.
Today and tomorrow is the last 2 days of early voting between who are the candidates again, Bob?
Mike Corrigan and Brian Griffiths in District 1 for that county commission seat.
Okay.
It's a turtle's pace. They'll be lucky to get 500 to 4,000 votes.
Lucky right now to get 500 out of 4,000?
They're less than they're a little over 100 votes.
Just 100 votes after 3 days, huh?
Right.
Wow. And so if you live in District 1 here in Wayne County, vote for your new county commissioner. It'll be a brand new one. And either Brian Griffiths or Mike Gordon. So if you live in the district, vote. If you're Republican. It's the Republican primary, so it'd be the Republicans.
Hard to get people back for a special election.
It is, isn't it?
I've seen that. But we only had 34% vote in the general election.
Only 34, where the state was fantastic. And in early voting is at Hall Richardson.
Right.
And then on election day, it'll be at your regular polling places, right?
All polling places will be open on Tuesday.
Okay. All right. So we'll keep people updated on that. We'll have a brand new county commissioner that will begin in January once this is over with next Tuesday on election day. Well, Bob, anything on your mind this morning before Congressman Carter calls in?
Looking forward to Game 6 of the NBA Finals tonight. I want to see Golden State wrap it up.
You want to see Golden State? You don't want a 7 back in Boston, huh?
7 will be back in Golden State, but I'd rather.
Oh, we'll be back there. They're playing 2 there, huh? Okay.
They're playing in Boston tonight, so.
Oh, they're playing. Oh, that's right. They are playing in Boston tonight. I forgot about that. They are playing in Boston tonight. So, you don't want to say go Celtics so you can have that 7th game?
No.
Oh, it's more basketball, Bob. It's more excitement.
Just wrap it up, get it over with.
Oh boy.
Good hockey game last night. NHL finals are underway between Tampa Bay and Colorado, the Avalanche and the Lightning. Tampa Bay going for their 3rd straight Stanley Cup. Went to overtime last night. It was pretty. Colorado won 4-3.
Okay.
Exciting game.
Yeah, now was that first, second, third game?
It's the first game.
First game. Okay, so Colorado's at 1-0 over Tampa Bay.
Stanley Cup finally underway.
Yeah, I mentioned that the other day. It's kind of hard to believe that a hockey team in Tampa has won, the last several years and got that Stanley Cup. But it's amazing. And also, it's just a coinkydink there, I think. I don't know how they do this, where you got the finals of NBA and the finals of hockey at the same time, here in June. And so just a lot of sports going on there, and all that'll be over with. You got the golf going on there with the Open and the U.S. Open and the British Open next month, and Wimbledon next month. That's their summer over in England is July. That's the reason why they have their that's the reason why they have the Wimbledon and then also the Open over there in July, because that's the warmest month of the year, and then it starts cooling off again. You watch much tennis, Bob?
Not really.
Did you play when you were younger? I know I did. When I was in high school and college, especially college, we got out there and hit the ball around a little bit, and after college we did.
My sister's a tennis player. I didn't play tennis.
I hadn't played tennis in forever. I think people seem to have played it a little bit more back then, just casually, than they do now, but I'm not positive. I was never very good at it, but it was fun to get out there with some folks and just knock the ball back and forth across the net. And basically just chase the ball a lot.
My sister in Atlanta is a good tennis player. She plays in all these leagues. So.
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
She's a good tennis player, huh? Okay. Okay, what's going on at Omaha Steak and Seafood today?
They have the meet and greet with Coach Jay Boshaw and his staff. So get them to come out and meet the new football staff at Wayne County High School. That's taking place tonight at 7 o'clock at the Omaha Steak and Seafood.
Okay.
Here's Congressman Carter.
Here's Congressman Carter. I'm just going to I'm going to put him right on the air, Bob, and you can just immediately start talking to him, okay? Wait a minute. Hold on.
And again, morning. We got Congressman Buddy Carter here with us on the Butch and Bob Show. How you doing, Mr. Carter?
I'm doing wonderful, Bob. I hope you are.
I'm doing great. I got a laundry list of things I want to talk to you about, but I want to start with Ukraine. Another $1 billion in aid and weapons, not looking good. From all reports, Russia's slowly but surely taking over the country. Vladimir Putin just won't stop derating this country, killing innocent people. Sad to see and watch. U.S. says Russia can't take over Ukraine, but fearful starting World War III, so it's basically window dressing and a lot of talk. At least that's what I see. Tell me I'm wrong, but here's my fear. If Russia's successful, who's stopping China from invading Taiwan? Message being sent simply isn't a good one. And my question is, who's going to stop Vladimir Putin?
Well, that's a great question, and it's a great point that because we can't ignore the fact that China, that Iran, that North Korea, all of these countries are watching this to see what happens, and they're just waiting for this opportunity to pounce, if you will, upon a weak leadership that we have here in America. That's exactly what's going on, and that's our biggest fear. Yes, we care about Ukraine, and as you described, it's awful what's going on over there. But at the same time, what we've got to be concerned about is what message this sends. The message that it sends to these other countries, I can assure you that China, their invasion of Taiwan is imminent. That's going to happen. It's only a matter of time, particularly as they watch what's happening here in Ukraine now and watch Putin. You're right. We've got to stop Putin. We cannot allow this to happen. If we allow this to happen, then it's only going to lead to more world crises, just like we're witnessing right now.
It's a bad situation. Like I said, watching the national news, it just seems like Russia's, they're binding the term they're going to take over, and it doesn't look like, poor Ukrainians. I mean, they're doing everything they can to try to stop it, but eventually they say Russia's just got too much military firepower, and they're eventually going to take that country over. So my question is, when they take it over, buddy, what's your prediction on what they're going to do next? Are they going to continue to go to other countries, or are they just going to be happy with you taking over Ukraine, or how does it work?
Well, that's, I wish I had a crystal ball to know exactly what is going to happen in the future with that. But the truth is that we don't know exactly what Putin's objectives are. We know that he wanted the eastern region of Ukraine. We know that he wants the oil and mineral deposits that are there. That's his main goal. Of course, we also hear that he wants to put the old Soviet Union back together. And, of course, Ukraine was part of the USSR. And that's what his goal is to put it back together. So, whether he stops, whether there could be negotiations and perhaps we could reach agreement that he takes over certain parts, and I'm not sure Ukraine's going to agree to that. I'm not sure that they are going to agree, okay, you can have the eastern part of our country, but leave us alone in the other areas. So we'll see what happens with that.
Okay, second topic, inflation. It continues to soar. They're talking $6 a gallon by the 4th of July. Is a recession far behind?
Well, I would argue, Bob, that we're in a recession right now. I mean, this administration doesn't want to admit it, but I would argue that we are already in a recession. If you look, we had yesterday, of course, a 0.75 of a point increase in the interest rate, and if you've got an adjustable mortgage, you better be ready because it's going to hit you hard. We're fortunate in the state of Georgia. We got the lowest gas prices in the country thanks to the efforts of our governor who has suspended the gas tax. But gas is averaging over $5 a gallon right now in America. And yes, $6 a gallon is on the way. It's not far behind at all. And, you know, it's pain at the pump and it's impacting everyone, but it impacts everything else in our society as well. Go to the grocery store. You see how groceries have increased in price. And a lot of the reason for that, yeah, there are supply chain issues, but a lot of the reason is because of gas prices. The price of diesel, the price of fertilizer, all of those things have increased significantly, causing our groceries to go up.
If you're just joining us again, Congressman Buddy Carter on the phone with us. How about the baby formula story? Haven't seen much about that. Have they resolved that, or is that still a problem?
No, it's still a problem. In fact, I heard this morning that the plant in Michigan is closed down again because of, I believe it was the inclement weather that caused it this time, but hopefully it's not going to be closed for 5 to 7 days. But that's another blow to our situation with the infant formula. And, you know, it's just so frustrating because this is a situation that should have never happened. This should have never gotten to this point that we're at right now with infant formula. This administration saw this coming. They were warned beforehand. It was more than just the closing of the plant in Michigan. We saw a decrease in the amount of infant formula months before the plant in Michigan was closed.
Here's an interesting story for your question. Where's the VP? Is she hiding in a cave somewhere? I haven't seen a story on her in about 2 months. What's she doing? Is she being replaced by Keisha Lance Bottoms, the former Atlanta mayor, just got a promotion in Washington with Biden's administration? Where's the VP? What's she doing?
I have no idea. I have not seen her. She has not been at the Capitol. I can assure you that. And she has not been in the news. And I know where she's not. She's not at the southern border. But where she is, I have no idea.
But there's some reports that her and Biden just don't get along at all. Is there any truth to that? Have you heard that in Washington, D.C.?
Oh, absolutely. We've heard it, and we've heard that not only do they not get along, but that their staff don't get along, and they don't communicate. They don't talk to each other.
Not a good situation. How about the primetime event taking place? They've got another primetime January 6th committee. What's your thoughts on that? It's kind of like our version of the Watergate hearings when I was a young child.
Exactly, and this is a primetime politics produced and presented to you by Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats. And essentially what it is just the Salem witch hunt trials being live streamed to you and on national TV with commercials and everything else. I mean, they go out and they hire the producer from ABC, the one who completely ignored the situation that was going on at ABC, but they've hired him to produce this for them. I mean, this is nothing more than primetime politics, and it's an illegitimate committee to begin with because of the fact that they did not allow the minority leader to make appointments of Republicans to that committee. Yes, they do have 2 Republicans on that committee who they chose to have on that committee, not the minority leader.
But one thing that's clear from what I've seen is everyone close to Trump in his administration told him repeatedly he lost the election, but he just continued not to believe it. I mean, from the Attorney General Barr to his own daughter, I mean, everybody told him he lost, but apparently he just didn't want to believe it.
Well, and that is a problem. I will admit that. Now, as you know, I'm a strong supporter of the president, and I believe in his policies. I've always said I believe he's right on policy and wrong on tone, and we do need to. You know, I don't know. I just, you know, people ask me all the time, was the vote legitimate in Georgia or not? I don't know the answer to that. I know that it has been certified and that we now have a new president and that we have to work with that president. I committed to do that when he was inaugurated. Unfortunately, he's decided not to work with us and not to work in a bipartisan fashion, but that's his decision. There's nothing I can do about that. I continue to do as much as I can to move this country forward, and you know, we need to. I hope President Trump will at some point, you know, make a decision on whether he's going to run next time or not. Whoever does run, I believe that the Republican policies are the policies that are going to get our country back on track. These policies that we have witnessed here, and we are suffering the consequences of the Biden policies and of the Democratic policies right now. We see it in the price of gas. We see it in inflation. We see it in what's going on the southern border. We see it in crimes in our city. We see it on the world stage as well.
Well, that's the question the Republican Party asks is who's leading their party? You know, what's the future? You know, I've heard for years now we need to look through the front window, not the rear view mirror. So, you know, who's going to be the leadership of the Republican Party? How do you see it playing out? Are they going to stick with Trump? Or are they going to find somebody else? Or how do you see it playing out when the next presidential election rolls around?
Well, I can tell you from my perspective here in Washington, D.C., and what I see, if Donald Trump decides to run for president again, it's going to be tough to beat him in the primary, in the Republican primary. I just don't see how anyone can do that. Even my friend Ron DeSantis, who I had the privilege of serving with in the House before he became governor, I think it would be very difficult for him to beat Donald Trump right now. If Donald Trump decides to run for the Republican nomination again, I think he will get it. But we've got a strong bench. We do. We've got some great candidates. I mean, if you look at Ron DeSantis, if you look at Mike Pompeo, if you look at all of the candidates that we've got, Kristi Noem, Nikki Haley, Tim Scott, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, all of those are just great candidates. We've got a very strong bench in the Republican Party.
And if you're just joining us, Congressman Buddy Carter, you're representing our district. Tell us what's going on in our district. What do we need to be aware of? And what are you working on, you know, as far as being a congressman?
Well, the ports continue to just to impress. I mean, the Georgia ports are the economic engine of our region and really of the southeast United States. And they continue to perform at an outstanding level. And that ripple effect that has throughout our economy is significant. Tourism is coming back. We've got a worker shortage, and, of course, tourism is a very labor-intensive sector of our economy. So that does have a big impact on tourism. But at the same time, we're seeing visitors coming to the coast and Savannah and Brunswick and along the coast. That part of it has picked up as well. We've had the big announcement in Bryan County about Hyundai coming, and we're excited about that. 8,100 jobs. Great things happening all throughout our district. We're fighting to keep the Combat Readiness Training Center open in Savannah. That's still a challenge, but we had leaders from the area up here last week, and we met at the Pentagon, had a very good meeting, and I think we know where we're at right now and what we need to do to make sure that stays open.
Just a couple more questions for you, buddy. I want to talk to you a little about this U.S. Senate race between Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock. How nasty is this going to get? I mean, it's already starting nasty ads back and forth, but how nasty can this get?
Well, it's going to get worse before it gets better. I can assure you that. I talked to Herschel at length on Friday afternoon. He called me, and we had a good conversation. I'm still very confident Herschel Walker is going to be our next United States Senator. He knows that he's got a long road ahead of him, and he's ready for that. He's prepared. He's surrounding himself with good people, and he's listening to them. And that, to me, is the most important thing. And I think that I think you're right. There's, we had some news this week, but again, that's part of it. There'll be more news, not only on Herschel but also on Raphael Warnock. So it's very unfortunate that it gets tied up into the personalities like this, but that's the way it is these days in politics. Whereas we should be concentrating on policy, many times it's just the opposite. We're not paying attention to policy. And that's what people need to understand, is that elections have consequences because policies have consequences.
One final question, Wend, on a light note. I know you're a big Georgia Bulldog fan. I say Arch Manning's signed, sealed, and delivered. I'm going to sign with Georgia. What's your thoughts?
I know that we got a pretty good crowd in that quarterback room right now. I mean, with Gunnar Stockton and the other kid, I can't remember his name right now. But,
Vandergriff, they got several in there.
Carson Bed, Van Graff. I mean, but yeah, I think it looks good for Arch. You know, I have my middle son lives in New Orleans, and you know, so we keep up with it quite closely. But it sure does look good right now. And wouldn't that be ironic? The first Georgia football game I ever saw was when Archie Manning was playing for Ole Miss, and my dad took me up to see Georgia and Ole Miss play in Athens.
He was a good one for sure, but like I said, I think Kirby's doing a great job. I think Arch Manning's, everything I hear from his trip to Athens and his interaction with Kirby, he's high on the city of Athens, high on the Georgia Bulldogs. So I got him signed, sealed, and delivered when he makes his decision. So that's just me. Buddy, always good talking to you. We appreciate you being here on the show with a lot of information. One other, we'll just end on this. If anybody needs to get in touch with Buddy Carter, what's the best way to do it?
You can call our Brunswick office or our Savannah office. Our Brunswick office is it's on our website, buddycarterforcongress.com. The number is, I would give it to you, but obviously I've forgotten.
Well, the website's good enough.
Well, we appreciate, like I said, what's your big 4th of July plans? You going to be able to come to Scribble and watch some 4th of July fireworks, or what's your plans?
Well, July 4th for me is All Saints Day. We start out at St. Mary's, and we have a parade there. Then we go down to St. George, and we have an event there. Then we go to St. Simon's, and we have a parade there. So it's All Saints Day on July 4th. But we'll certainly try to hit Wayne County if we can. Maybe between those cities, we can get by there.
Well, the 4th of July activities in Scriven, the fireworks is on the second Saturday.
Right, July 2nd.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yep. All right, buddy. Appreciate you calling in. All right, have a good day.
Thank y'all.
All right, take care.
All right.
Congressman Buddy Carter here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. Bob, any final words this morning?
Go Golden State.
Okay. All right. Have a good day. All right. The world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, by Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and by First Southern Bank. Now, remember, coming your way in about 5-10 minutes from now, you're going to have a chance to win a Wild Adventure ticket voucher, good for 4 single-day admissions to go to Wild Adventures Park today, tomorrow, or Saturday. And if you go Saturday and enjoy all the activities, that Wild Adventure ticket voucher will get you into the 3 Dog Night concert this Saturday night at 8 o'clock at Wild Adventures. Don't have to go to it, but if you want to, that will get you in there if you go on Saturday. And we're going to give away 8 of these ticket vouchers. So get ready to win. Lots of folks are going to win in a few minutes. WIFO FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio. It is 8:30.
A lot of Americans are struggling financially.